Culture equals making money. America has a very good culture. I can't take it away from them, even though some people say there is no culture. But in this case, I'm talking about making money, taking advantage of American culture to make money. So one thing I've realized with Americans is they support businesses, they support talent, they have a brand loyalty, and they love old stuff. They love deals. So one thing you realize, like in most cities, there are football teams, soccer teams, hockey teams, all those. So when those teams are holding games, it's a culture for Americans. They have to attend. They have to support them. They pay tickets. It doesn't matter how much expensive they are. They are willing to pay as much as over 800 just to attend those games. So it's a culture. So those teams, the money is tied to those teams. So in terms of merchandise, those people who are doing businesses when those guys attend those games. So Americans, they have to attend those games and support them. A very good culture. So every Saturday or every weekend or even during weekdays when there's those games, it doesn't matter if it's raining or not, they have to go, and they know. They go with their they start going to those games with their kids when they're young. So these kids, they get in tune with the culture of attending those games and supporting those teams. The other one is concerts. They have concerts, especially a lot of them during summer. They have musicals, all these kinds of performances. They go to support them. It's a culture for most of them to go to musicals, and they pay big money to attend these events. It's a culture to support. Okay, let's say also businesses. So if you're starting a business, you guys know even a soccer team is a business. There's a lot of businesses attached to that, like buying alcohol. So those guys, when they're going to those games, when those games end, or during the games, there's alcohol being sold and all kinds of food. When it comes to restaurants, most restaurants were kept afloat by the American culture because Americans, they believe they have to support their local businesses. They have to go out after work and eat at those restaurants. They have to go on the weekends. They have to make time to go to their favorite restaurants. If they can't do it, they have to order online so they can eat their favorite food. They know this. Americans spend a lot of money eating out because it's a culture. So let's say for you, you have kids and a wife. When those kids were young, you take them, let's say, to Arby's, McDonald's, Applebee's, all those restaurants. So these kids would associate, the good feeling, of the food, the dopamine, with going to these restaurants. So when these kids grow up, they will always attend those restaurants because it's a culture that was, fed to them by their grandparents or their parents, because they used to go there with them when they were young. So they have to support these businesses. So during the pandemic, these businesses were supported by Americans. They were kept afloat. And because of brand loyalty, those restaurants that have a loyal, customers, those customers kept supporting them. That's why you saw Americans were always like, oh, we need to keep these businesses open. So once those restaurants started opening, they were going there in big numbers to keep these restaurants afloat, because there is a value they attach to these restaurants. The other one is also brand loyalty. They are very loyal. There are so many designers in America. There are so many brands that Americans are so loyal to. And one thing when it comes to businesses, the good thing about Americans is they will always come back. In other countries, if let's say you buy a T-shirt, you're likely to have it for years without thinking of buying the same T-shirt. But in America, they know they operate in seasons. During summer, they know they have to buy. They start preparing early. like right now it's we are in fall season. So right now the clothing that's being made or that's gonna be put out in those stores is for spring. So American will start buying clothing for spring. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and Halloween. So all these places, retail stores, they are making things for Halloween, and Americans are gonna buy. Halloween happens every year. Thanksgiving happens every year, even Christmas. So every Christmas, guess what? They are constantly buying and buying. They don't care if they bought last year. There is always the next year they're gonna buy. So this culture of brand loyalty and always coming back, repeat customers, it can make you a lot of money. So you have to find a niche that you're gonna specialize in and find out what is it they like, because Americans are into so many things. I can't count them all. There are so many people who are into old stuff, old vintage stuff, business of buying those old vehicles and waiting for them a few years, then they appreciate in value. The other people who are in real estate, the other people who are all kinds of stuff. There's niche for everything in America, and is likely to make you money. Uh, Also, something as simple as lawn mowing. So Americans believe during summer they have to keep their lawns mowed. So those guys, they create a lot of jobs for those guys who are lawn mowing. So it's a culture. It's a very good culture because you're likely to make money. It's not a one-time thing where if somebody comes buy something from you, that's it. No, they always come back. If they like the food, restaurants make a lot of money. They like the food, they're gonna keep coming. It's common to when you're going around to see like lines, circling around a restaurant, waiting. They are waiting to go inside and buy or eat their favorite food. And this culture repeats itself. So it's a good culture, it's a good capitalistic culture. So if you're business minded, you're going to make a lot of money.